Okay, so now I want to create a table called student info, and I want to give it a lot more information because I want to teach you about views today. So we're going to learn about views. So here, I'm creating student info. It looks like our student table, and there's a primary key with student ID. The difference is there's a GPA. So this student has their name, their first name, their last name, and a GPA. So let me create this. Okay. Now, I'm going to insert these rows. Insert values. Okay, and here you can see, instead of typing it over and over, the insert over and over and over again, maybe I could line it up a little nicer. I'm copy pasting, but you can see here that you can do it in one step, separated by commas. So I have my IDs are still 1 through 5. I'm still all the Simpsons, but I threw in some GPAs. You can see Lisa has a 4.0, Maggie has a 3.5. Here, look, I made it a little nicer now. Okay, so now let's hit go. Okay, so now if we go to our student info table, you can see we have the GPAs and all the names. But now, someone else, another group, and this is obviously a school, but another group wants to use our student table. They need the student information for something else, maybe for club activity, for some other purpose. They need the student info table, but we don't really think it's nice for them to see the GPA. Should they know that Homer Simpson has a 1.0 GPA? It's not so nice. It's kind of private, sensitive information, and you wouldn't want everyone in the university to have your GPA. So we want to create a view. A view it's similar to a table. It's like a subset of it. It's kind of dynamic and gets created on the spot. Here. Oh, sorry. So let's just do it ourselves. Create view. Let's call it, I'll call it private student info. So create view, I think as private student info. No, and I don't. Okay. As select, what was it? L name, F name, and student ID, and was that it? I think so. From student info. So we should be, this should give us everything except for the GPA. So I'm creating a view. I want to call it private student info. I don't want them to have the GPA, but I do want them to have the student's ID and last name and first name. So let's do it. Good. So now if we go to private student info, you can see it has Marge Simpson, Homer Simpson, everyone, but it doesn't have that private GPA information that it didn't want them to have. But let me give you another example of a view. Now, Dean's List. The Dean's List wants to look at this information because they want to see who is on the Dean's List. So they want a list of everyone with GPA greater than or equal to 3. So here, beforehand, I created a view which was a subset removing some of the columns. So it was a vertical view. Now I want to do horizontal. I want to remove some of the rows. I only want to keep the top students. So select star from student info where, what was it called, GPA is greater than or equal to 3. I only want, let's say, the 3 and the 4s. I don't want anyone with the 1 and 2. I want to see who my top students are for the Dean's List or for whatever reason. Let's copy this. Okay, go. Okay, so now let's go to top students. Top students, you can see that we removed who I think Bart had a 1.0 and somebody else looks like had a 2.0. We can compare it. What was our table called? Student info. In student info, Bart has a 2.2 and Homer had a 1.0. We removed them and we only kept Lisa, Marge, and Maggie, as you can see in top students. So this way we are able to create views. Views are actually very convenient. You can also create more than one table if you wanted to create a view, which was a join. Instead of always doing the join again and again, if you knew you needed it a lot, you can create the view, and then you always have it there. So anytime you go there, it has the tables combined. So views are very, very powerful and very, very useful.